Okay, yes, sure. All right, I'll be happy to check out your portfolio. Just send me your website, okay? Yeah, send me your website. Yeah. Okay, great. I'll be waiting for it. Bye. Okay, time for lunch. Let me put this on sleep. All right. Ta-da! Oh, one more thing. Let's delete this forever. Whoosh, did that website hurt your eyes as well? Oof. Your website is probably your business's most important marketing tool. And today, you simply cannot afford to have a crappy website. Here, again, your visitors will judge you very quickly. They will form their first impression based on how your homepage looks like. Make it ugly, and you will lose that prospect forever. But if your visuals are good-looking and attention-grabbing, people will read through and start discovering what your business is all about. Got it? All right. In this section, I will teach you how to design the visuals you need to make your website catch your audience's attention. Hello everyone, welcome back to the course and to this brand new section about creating visuals for your blog and website. So let's start with the first lecture. And in this first lecture, we are going to create a hero shot or a hero image. So first, let me try to give you a little definition of the hero image or the hero shot. So basically, the hero shot is the first image that you will see when you land on a website. That would be the main visual. Usually it's an oversized visual. You can see some examples here. That basically sum up what your website is all about or what your value proposition is all about. So that means that this visual is very, very, very important because it is the first thing people will see when they arrive to your website. So in order to make this amazing and to make this very attention-grabbing, there are a few rules in terms of composition, but also in terms of elements that need to be on your hero shot or hero image. So let's try to design one. Let me close this window with Canva. And the dimensions of the hero image is something that can vary from one project to the other, but a good idea would be to keep this 16:9 ratio. So what we can do is basically use the 1920 by 1080 pixels. And another thing which will be important for your hero image is to resize your image once it's done. Why do you want to do this? Because you want your hero image to have the highest possible quality, but yet the lowest possible file size, because you want this image to load very fast, very quickly on your website. So first, let me tell you that there is no secret sauce when it comes to creating a hero image. There is no one magic formula that works all the time. It really depends on your website, on the mood you are trying to communicate, but there are general rules in terms of layout, in terms of proven layout and composition that prove to be working basically when it comes to a landing page or to a home page. So I did a little bit of research and I found an interesting website, which I'm going to show you right now to give them credit. It's called The Ultimate Guide on Creating Stunning Hero Images for Your Web Pages. So it's a person named Michael Soriano. So credit goes to him. It's not my creation, but he has an interesting theory about three different kinds of composition when it comes to subject and text placement for creating interesting hero images. So I grabbed these three scenarios, three layouts and composition. The first one is when you position your subject on the right and your catchy headline and sentence call to action on the left. So that's the first one. Second one is when you have the same exact opposite, when you have your subject on the left and your text catchy headline and calls to action on the right. And then the last scenario is when you don't have a subject, then when you don't have a visual, which is a person or a main point of focus, when you have more like an abstract background or maybe something that doesn't attract your attention or ask you to focus your attention on one specific object, then you can have your headline, your sentence, and your call to action pretty much centered on the page. So these three scenarios when it comes to composition for creating your hero shots are the ones that we will be trying to reproduce in Canva. So I have my document here, which is 1920 pixel by 1080. So it's a 16 by 9 aspect ratio, which is what we want. And we are going to design the first scenario where we have our subject on the left, and then we will do the exact opposite with the subject on the right, and then we will have everything centered and no subject. So let's go ahead and design this. So first, I need to find, I'm going to start with my elements. I'm going to start with my headlines. So this is the main headline. Of course, we are going to keep following our brand style guide. Okay, so for our colors and fonts and everything. So let's go with railway heavy for our main headline there. And we are going to write human stories. We continue with this intention to promote our fair trade stories, right? Okay, next I want to create this little paragraph that comes and supports my main headline. So I have a text that we use for Fair Trade Connection quite regularly. We have the largest library of fair trade stories. Come discover them and see how fair trade improves lives. Okay, that's pretty catchy. It supports my main affirmation right here, human stories. And then what I need is a call to action. So I will just search for button in Canva. And I'm searching for a standard, like a web button, something you would have on a landing page like this would do the trick. I will just paste it here, change the name button, change the font for my main font, Railway Heavy, and maybe make this a little bit smaller, all caps. And I'm going to call this Start Now. Okay, make this button more attractive. So to do this, I can use one of my colors here, my brand colors. As you can see, there are two colors involved in this button. There is the outline, which is a darker gray, and there is the inside, which is the lighter gray. So I just add my green here. And as an outline, maybe I can use a darker green, maybe black. Let's use black so it reminds this one, and of course change the text to white. So now I have a pretty decent information for my landing page. Maybe I can center this a little bit more to the right. And all I need is a good looking visual. So let's see if we can find this in our uploads. So let's go and use this one, photo. I'll make this bigger. Make sure this is on the part of my photo that doesn't have too much action going on. So here in the background. And now we have a bunch of different options. We can, let me ungroup this. We can move this button around, like we can make it centered here, for example. This one also, we can center it like this. This is pretty cool. Okay, so next I'm going to do the exact same composition, but my subject, instead of being aligned on the left, will be aligned on the right. Okay, so I will copy this group of elements, copy, and I will bring it to my second page, kind of already position this pretty much where it will needs to go. And I don't have, I can ungroup. I don't have to center this. I can leave this aligned to the left, for example. But if you do, then make sure everything is aligned to the left and the spacing between the first headline and the paragraph is basically the same as in between the paragraph and your call to action. So good, now I'm going to import another photo here, which has a subject aligned on the right. So this visual will be perfect for that. Make this bigger so it covers the whole shot, and make sure we can see her entire face. Okay, and here we have to use a white color for our text to give it some contrast. Okay, so this is pretty good as well. So now we can see how we have the different scenarios working for us. And the last composition that we need to try is the one that doesn't have a subject, but has some kind of abstract background, with everything else centered in the middle. So I will copy my text right here that I would group into one element, copy this whole group and bring it here. I will roughly position it in the middle, but I will of course arrange this later. And this time, ungroup, I will make everything centered already. So because this there, it's pretty much the same. Okay, so now I need, let me make this centered. Now I need to find a visual for my hero shot that doesn't really have one subject, like one clear point of focus. So it could be an abstract image, it could be a texture, it could be even like patterns in the background. So let me go ahead and do two different scenarios here. So I'm going to copy this, and we are going to try two different things. One thing will be, we will put an image in the background, but we don't want to raise too much attention to this image. We want the attention to be on the text and on the call to action. And for the second one, we would use a colored background with a pattern in it. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's start with the pattern actually. So let's go to background. We are looking for something that is rather discreet, doesn't have too much fuss to it. Maybe let's try this one. Yeah, that could work. Choose one color that could work with this. You know what? I want to try to make this better. Okay, so that's already more interesting. But now let's come here and use visual that actually could have a greater impact than just a pattern background. So for this, I'm going to go back to my photos and find something which is not, it doesn't have one main focus. So this photo, for example, could be working well for us because it has many subjects in it. It's not just one person that is attracting your attention. So this is nice. But of course, the colors are too vivid. So what I can do here, and I think I already used this little trick before, I'm gonna cover this visual with a background, like a colored shape that will come in front of it. And then I will give some transparency to this shape. I kind of want to see the color, but I need to see, let's go 75, which is pretty cool. So now I need to arrange this element back so that I can see my text. Okay, and straight away I can see that I will need to make this text white. So let's go ahead and do this. Make everything white. Okay, this is already better. But there is something that bothers me, is that color in the background is giving the visual a weird look. So what I can do is to move this shape slightly. So I'm able to click on my photo here in the background and use the filter and go for black and white. So I could go grayscale, or for more contrast, I could go street. Street is the more contrasty black and white. Then I can move this back. And now I have something interesting. Now I have this kind of nice feel to my website, like this color. And then if we use green here, maybe we can change the color of our button to have more contrast, and change the green of my button for pink. Okay, good. So now we have this high contrast for our call to action, human stories. We have the largest library of fair trade stories, etc. So now I really like this visual because it represents basically what you can read. You can see that these women have a story, and you can start now and discover their stories. So there it is. We have 4 different hero shots for our blog or website. So we can just finish the lecture here and go ahead and download these visuals. Okay, next on our list for designing visuals for our website or our blog, we are going to create another important element for any website or blog. It's the icons. So we have this project here of redesigning our website, right? We have our old website that kind of looks outdated, so we want to create a more modern design for this website. So for the homepage, we want to display the different services that we offer to our customers. So for each of these service categories, I want to have an icon that represents visually the service we are offering. So let's go ahead and find these icons. But first, let's set up our document in Canva. So icons are usually round or kind of square shaped. So we will use the social media template, which is 800 by 800, a nice squared layout. And we will design our icons individually in this layout right here. Okay, so next we need to find the icons. We need to find the visual elements. So I know that in the Elements tab of Canva, there is an icon category. So if I click on this, I can see that Canva does have a few icons, but they're not very nice looking and they don't have that many icons actually. So we will need to find another source for finding all these icons. One website I use regularly to find icons is called Flat Icon. And let me show you briefly. So Flat Icon is basically a search engine for icons. You can find a ton of different icons in color or in black and white, or basically you can even customize the color of your icons. For those of you who are interested, I created a whole course about Flat Icon. So it's available from my profile. But for the rest of it, I'm going to use Flat Icon in this lecture to find the icons we need to cover our keyword right here. So the first one is digital marketing. So let's see what we can find. I'll just paste it in here and go for search. Okay, and first thing I want to show you in Flat Icons is that you can search for icons or for packs. So I'm going to search for packs because I want to have this consistency between all my different icons, right, for my website. Okay, so this is my icon pack. I can see that there are 168 icons in this pack, so I might be able to find all the service icons that I need to represent my 5 keywords from this one pack. So let's see if I can find them. So the first one is digital marketing. Let's find one icon that represents digital marketing. Could be this one. So I will keep this. And if you want to keep it, you just press the plus button and it will, you see there's a 1 popping up here. And this is actually your icon collection, my icon collection. So you can see that this icon is now here. So the next keyword that I need, shootings, video shootings, could be this camera right here. Okay, next, video editing. So I need to find something that represents video editing, not on this first page. I have this computer with the video logo inside. I will use this. Next keyword is stock photos. So I need to find something related to a photo. This one, for example. And the last keyword is product photography. So this camera right here will do the trick. So now I have, let me position this list here. Now I have my 5 keywords represented by 5 icons. So this is pretty cool. And I know that they have a consistent feel to them because they are from the same pack of icons. So what I will do, I will download this icon collection and I will download them in PNG and the maximum resolution. So there are 2 options. You can become a premium member of flaticon.com and then you will have to pay, of course, your membership, or you can download for free, but you must give credit to the author. So if I'm about to use these icons on my website, I will have to give credit to the creator of these icons. So that's good. All I need to do is export these icons. I'll export this to the desktop. And then we will have our material to start creating within Canva. Let me make sure they are actually downloaded. So they are right here. I can open this and I will import each of these icons to Canva. So I will go ahead and create 5 of these templates. So 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I can simply start dragging these icons on my Canva. Okay, one by one. I just click on them. Click on the second one. And if I don't resize them or anything, they're just going to be all at the same dimensions. See? So now I have these icons on a white background. You could change the color of the background if you wish, but most of the websites nowadays use a white background. So these are my 5 icons that I can export, and I will have my 5 icons for my website. I can resize them as I wish, but pretty much this is how you can generate easy icons for any website, any blog, or any other design, as a matter of fact. You don't have to limit yourself to websites. So that's it. That concludes this lecture, and all I have to do is download these icons. Welcome back, guys, and in this next lecture we are going to see how we can create a blog featured image at the right dimension. So the difficulty when creating your blog featured image, and you can see here our blog from the Fairtrade Academy, we have different blog posts and they all have this consistency of sizes for featured images. So the major difficulty we will struggle with right here is to find out which size these photos needs to be. So it's kind of tricky because it could be different from one blog to the other, from one theme to the other. So the best way is to basically take one that we already have on our blog, or find the information maybe in your WordPress or in your theme. Usually when you have a theme, when you use a theme, it comes with like a dummy blog post, so you can see if there is an image in this post, a featured image, and if there is, what I recommend is that you right-click on this image and you save image as. You save this to your desktop, for example, and now it's here. And what you can do, you can right-click again, properties. And if you go into the details of that photo, then you'd have its dimensions. So 1170 by 520. So now I know that this particular blog that I'm using right here uses this size of photos. So this could be very interesting for creating this consistency that you want in your blog post. So I'm going to go ahead and create a document in Canva with these dimensions. So 1170 by 520. 1170 by 520, custom dimensions, and so 1170 of width, 520. Okay, and I will hit the design button and it will create my Canva with these dimensions. All right, so this is pretty much all there is to it. Then you need, of course, to find the relevant images for your blog post. So let's take the example. Let's say I didn't have a featured image for this blog post. It's called The Revolution Fairtrade Needs, and it speaks about this concept of scanning a QR code with your smartphone to access the story of a particular Fairtrade artisan or Fairtrade farmer. So we talk about this concept in this blog post. So what I want to do is to illustrate this concept with a visual right here in my featured image. So let's go ahead and import a visual. We made this little montage with a phone and the photo right there. So I can stick this, maybe make this a little bit smaller. And I kind of want to have the QR code here so that people understand that you need to scan this QR code. So let me go back to my QR code that I imported in a previous lecture. This one right here. I will put it here, make it bigger. And I like this idea of, you know, these corners that indicate that you have to scan this. So let me see if I can find this little effect. Maybe if I type corners. Yes, perfect. This is exactly what I need. So I will import this. And I will simply copy this, turn it around like this. Okay, this looks about right. And I want to change this color. I want this to be red. Okay, that's pretty nice. So now I want to take these two, copy them, and I will just group this and turn this around. Okay, so it looks okay, but it's too far away from my QR code. I need to make this much closer to the QR code. So this looks decent. And then the last thing there is that there is a line in the middle usually. So I'm looking for a line that could do the trick. I will give this line the same color. Maybe something like this. This looks pretty good. And usually these lines, they are not that plain, so I will play around with the transparency. Let's say 70. This looks pretty cool. Okay, maybe one last thing we could do is to add some kind of lines somewhere to make this design a little bit less boring, because it's white in the background. I cannot really add a background because you see this corner right here. If I add a background, I can show you. If I add a background, this image, because it's not like very neatly cropped, we'll still have a little bit of white background behind it. So adding a background is not really an option unless I put a white shape behind this smartphone image. That could be an interesting option so that I can keep my background. Let's do this. Let's find a background that we like. Maybe this one is too much of... Okay, this one I like. I will change this for one of my colors. This light blue. Get back to this. Add my color. Like this. And now what I can do is to add a shape behind this visual right here. Make this white. White. And I will arrange this backwards. Okay, maybe make it a little bit bigger. This is pretty good. But I kind of lose the balance here. So what I will do, I will select everything here and move this pretty much to the center of the space like this. Now I can see that I added a background, that these little corners right there are not exactly well positioned. So I can adjust this using the arrow keys. Now they are perfectly aligned on my QR code. So that's it. We have our featured image for our blog post. What is very important to remember from this lecture is that you have to know the dimension, the ideal dimension for your featured image, because if you have this consistency throughout your whole blog, then it will look more professional. So go ahead and find this with the little trick I showed you in the beginning of this lecture. So now the only thing we have to do is to download this featured image, and that will conclude the lecture. Hey, welcome back to the course. In this lecture, we are going to look into how to design your author photo for your bio, for example, for your blog or any article that you write. Usually you will have a little photo. Most of the time it is a round photo that will show your face and present you as the author, as the author of the blog post. So we can see this in action on two different websites. First is our Fairtrade Academy. So this is my bio photo and Diana's photo. So you can see it's a round photo with us inside of it. People have different poses. Some are more serious, some are more relaxed. It's really up to you, up to the vibe you want to communicate with this photo. And let's take another example, the HubSpot blog. So HubSpot is a famous marketing blog. Let's take any of these blog posts and see how they present the authors. So you will see that it is also a round photo, but it has a circle around it that gives it a little extra interesting look to this photo. So let's see how we can create our own photo within Canva. So everything related to profile photo, I recommend we use the social media Canva, the 800 by 800. So let's go ahead and use this one. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is to import a photo of myself that I like. I've been using this one since the beginning of this course, and I kind of want something different this time. So I have prepared a visual right here that I like. I think it's quite funny. So I'm going to try to use this one to create my author photo. So let me import this into Canva right there. and it's going to upload here. So let me browse the frame folder right here and see if I can find this round placeholder, this round frame for my photo. So I have this basic round, I have round with dotted lines, round with plain lines, round with this kind of background. I'll go with this one, and I kind of like the black outline, so I'll keep it. And now I just need to drop my photo inside of it. And there you go. But the effect that I was looking for and hoping for with the hands is not really working. And there's no way I can make this photo smaller actually. So the only thing I could do is do something like this, but it's not really funny. So I guess I need a different photo. So let me find a different photo. Maybe I could use this one. Yes, this is much better. So I could accentuate the blue with a blue outline, but I think I like this one. If you want to get people's attention a little bit more, use a flashier color for your outline. We could try, for example, orange. Let's see how it looks in orange. Yes, this is not bad actually. So this is how you create your interesting author photo for your bio on different blogs or different websites. If you want to have choices, you can duplicate this design and use different colors for your outline. Like this is very convenient. Then you can try, depending on the theme, the color theme of your website, you can try different things, but it's always good to have your options, right? So I'm going to create maybe 4 different colors of outlines, sorry. So then I will have a choice when it comes to choosing one for my website. And then the last one I'll make, I'll use the pink like this. So it's very easy to change the color like this. So now we have 4 different options for our author photo. And I'm just going to go ahead and export this, and this will conclude the lesson.